Some would call it swag, some call it cockiness, some would call it being a diva. But when you're good, it's not bragging. And elite wide receivers and the confidence they exude often permeates an entire team, and we're going to see a couple of examples of that in this one. Welcome to the home of the Alabama Crimson Tide, Tuscaloosa, Alabama, Saban Field at Bryant-Denny Stadium. As we see the number 7 team in the country, the Clemson Tigers, taking on the 9th-ranked team in the land, the Alabama Crimson Tide. For EA Sports College Football, I'm Reese Davis, David Pollack, and Jesse Palmer with me. Guys, it's time to get it going. Clemson will kick off to get us underway. On the move from inside his own 20. He's brought down after a good return, gets it out to the 31. So the Alabama Crimson Tide offense will take the field for the first possession of this game. This wide receiver matchup is one that we've been waiting to see. You have two guys on either side, Jesse, who are really going to make the secondaries nervous.
Oh, they should, because these guys can take the top off of defense. You've got two very dynamic individuals playing on each offense, and if I'm playing quarterback in this game for either team, I am going to take my shots and give my guy an opportunity, because both of these guys, David, have proven they can make circus-level catches.
I mean, when they're not open, they're open. I mean, they can make the dynamic catches, the contested catches. They have the speed. They are two of the best playmakers in all of the country. So whenever an offense has
wide open spaces, and he's able to bounce off one tackle for a solid pickup.
These are the ones in the stands where you get booed if it doesn't work. Why would you run the ball on 2nd and long? You stink, OC. Or you get the big applause and you're like, yes, nice job. Keeping the manageable 3rd down situation. Good call. So tough spot to be in 2nd and long. Nice answer, nice run by the running back.
And some room to work. And they'll pick up the first down and mark it at the 47.
It's a really good sign if you're on offense here. You're putting it on your offensive line on 3rd down. Critical down and distance, opening drive of the game. Let those guys fire off, get a hat on a hat. You can run the ball, pick up the first. You're around midfield. And all things looking pretty good here early for this offense.
Wants to throw. It's Simpson. Quickly out to the tight end. And the defense had that one well covered. Just a short gain there.
You know, I know it seems like an easy pitch and catch, but for the tight end there, that route potentially changes if it's man coverage. So good job by him knowing it's zone. I'm just going to sit down. This is basically like a check down, right? Let's just take the easy pitch and catch and keep this drive going.
Off the play fake. Incomplete, thanks to the great defensive pressure there that sort of threw them out of rhythm.
There's an example of what happens when the quarterback doesn't have a chance to set his feet. The pressure just forced him to have to work off schedule a little bit. And I think because of that, he wasn't able to be as accurate as he wanted to be.
The Crimson Tide looking for a big play to convert on 3rd down. From the gun, wants to pass. Grabbed in the middle, it's Horton. Now well within striking distance as that 3rd down play gets him a first at the 29.
Well, we know this guy is special, and because of that, his quarterback is looking to him on critical down and distances. There on that 3rd down, there was no question. It wouldn't have mattered if he was single covered, double covered, man, zone. That's where he was going with it, and the big-time playmaker outside picks up the first.
Alabama rolling quickly downfield, set up with another first down. Wants to throw again. Here's a heat. And the quarterback will take a sack back at the 36. If you plan to deal with the Tigers, you better be able to handle their defensive front. They have a whole legacy of this dating back to the fridge, William Perry.
Big old legacy, and it seems like every year they rotate so many guys that are so highly recruited, so good, just great players. They're always big and strong and fast and physical, and they get after your quarterback.
Really need to pick up some yardage this time on 2nd and long. Looking for a man. It's Simpson. And he's all bottled up, and now it's worse. The ball's loose. It's as if that ball had a magnet going back to the offense. How in the world did they keep it?
Man, and this is why you practice 5 points of pressure with the football. You cannot put the ball on the ground. Doesn't matter how many defenders are around you or how hard you get hit. You cannot turn the football over and expect to win games.
Now a lot of work to do to move the chains, keep this drive alive after that earlier sack. On 3rd and long, he'll have to turn it loose deep. And the defense gets loose, bringing the heat, and down he goes again. And the defense pays that blitz off with just what you want, putting the O in 3rd and long.
And a lot of people get conservative on 3rd and long and drop a lot of people. I like bringing pressure. Tell the QB, you better get the ball out of your hand fast because we're coming for you. The blitz gets home. Nice job by the defense being aggressive on 3rd and long.
The Crimson Tide will bring the punt team on the field. He ought to be able to use his first punt to pin him deep. They're able to put a stop to that return right at the 30-yard line. So Clemson's offense has the ball for the first time. And the story is going to be in this one. Will this quarterback be able to operate before that big fella on the defensive front gets right in his grill, Jesse?
And listen, he's one of the best quarterbacks in the country, but he better play with the clock in his head in this one. He's not going to have a lot of time. There were a lot of quarterbacks around the SEC that probably felt this way back when they played the Georgia Bulldogs and David Pollock, right?
Yeah, especially those real teams with Jordan Davis and Nolan Smith and Jalen Carter. But, like, here's what's fun. You can't throw the ball off your back. And that's what this guy's going to try to do. Get to the quarterback, affect him. The bottom line is every quarterback becomes really human when you hit him. Can he hit him and make him human?
It's hard to have success on wide receiver screens when you're facing press man coverage because your blockers out front oftentimes can't pick him up, and that receiver gets gobbled up as soon as he catches the pass. You saw it on that last play.
Looking downfield, it's Klubnik. Lost one deep down the right side. And they wanted it all on 3rd down, but now dealing with 4th down.
This defense was ready for go-balls. Against this receiver and his speed, he's one of the fastest in the country. They knew this quarterback was going to try to take the top off the defense. That time they couldn't link up. And if you're on defense, just know they're going to try that play again.
Hunt is on its way. And they'll get the punt out of there, and it'll be marked down just outside the opponent's 45. They'll start this drive at their own 48. Looking downfield on 1st down. Unleashes one. He's got it. All the way down to the 27-yard line before they get him out of bounds, and this offense is threatening. Alabama may always be built on the run, but these days they elevate with a high-flying pass game.
And great coaches evolve, and we've seen the evolution of this Alabama offense over the last several years, and it's not just run. It's not just eat clock. It is be aggressive, attack, make big plays down the field.
Nice job, defense. You always hear people talk about tackling the catch. You saw it right there. There was nowhere for that receiver to go once he had possession. As a result, no gain.
What will they dial up on 2nd and a long way to go? The give to the back. Brought down after a good pickup, and they're in the red zone at the 20.
And a nice job by the running back, finding space, getting downhill, making the good run. Great job finishing with his pads.
The Crimson Tide needs to convert on 3rd and short. They'll try to pick it up on the ground. And that'll not only be a 1st down, it'll be 1st and goal from the 7.
Wow, the running back there showing you his skill set as he's able to rip off that one for a 1st down.
On 1st and goal, let's see if Alabama can get it in the end zone. They'll try to get it in with the run. And maybe he'll get back to the line of scrimmage, but no more than that.
Well, that play didn't stand a chance. I mean, nobody even blocked that guy. And he's able to get the tackle for loss.
defense rose up deep in its own end on that last play. Now a 2nd and long coming. The run up the middle, looking for the score. And there was nowhere to go, just stopped in his tracks in the backfield.
It's looking like they're going to have to try to throw this one into the end zone here on 3rd down, David. Quarterback's got to be careful. Can't get greedy because you know these windows, they close fast.
Extremely tight windows. Find your big body guys that you know can win in contested situations here on 3rd down.
They'll try to pass it in on 3rd and goal. Couldn't find a man and just had to throw it away to avoid a negative play.
And these are super tough spots for the offense to be in. 3rd down and long, in the red zone. The field is so small. Defenses can play so aggressive. QB didn't like anything he had, and honestly, he knows he's got a field goal in his pocket if he wants it. Just throws the football away.
And it looks as if they're going to try a field goal. It's good. Easy call for the refs. And with that, they break the seal on the scoring. It's 3-0.
And you want a touchdown and you want to be aggressive, but man, right down the middle, that obviously gives me some confidence down the road that I can trust this guy.
So they're lining up to kick it off after that last drive. Put a 3-spot on the board, and now the defense will try to shut them down. On the move from inside his 5. Not a lot of space to be found. Good hustle by the coverage team, and they stop him at the 21. They love to put a long drive together here as they start from their own 21. Oh, better look out. Oh, a lot of space. And they give him enough for the 1st down. They'll move the chains, and let's see if they can snap it one more time here in the 1st. Both teams wanted to establish the run, and they have done exactly that in the 1st quarter. They are lined up and ready to go and get things started here in the 2nd. First play of the period, 1st down here. Back to pass, it's Klubnik. Sets up the screen. Oh, gives him the tough stiff arm. He's out of bounds at the 38-yard line. For a quarterback as highly touted as Cade Klubnik was, I think he would even tell you he started slowly, but man, the progression, the improvement has been exponential, Jesse.
It has, Reese, and he's played big in big games as of late. You think back to last year's ACC championship game, and then I would argue his game against Texas, even in the loss in the playoff, that might have been his best game of the season, making throw after throw. You can see why he was so highly recruited, and if he plays up to that standard week in, week out, Clemson's going to be really tough to beat.
The Tigers have it with a 1st and 10. Use the play fake, now to throw. Just a short pass to the tight end. That one takes it down to the 13-yard line. That throw and catch, a really good example of why coaches don't want a quarterback to get stuck on a particular target, isn't it, David?
Yep, that's exactly right. Find the guy who's open, because you got so many guys that have so much speed that can do so much damage on the field. Find my matchup, get it to him, let him do the rest.
Got it! And he was dying to push his way in there, but he's knocked down at the 3.
They just find ways to find the big fellas. Those big tight ends are huge targets for the quarterbacks. The throws are usually in between the numbers. That makes it pretty easy. Usually sure-handed guys like that just come across the field, make plays for them.
Going to work in the red zone, they can't pick up the 1st down without getting it into the end zone. The RPO, fire complete to the left. They will score! Touchdown, Clemson!
And it's so nice to have guys out wide that you just trust that you can feed the football, and this guy will do the rest, will cross that goal line, will take care of you, will make you look like a genius. That's that kind of guy right there.
On to attempt the try. Oh, they blocked the extra point.
You know, oftentimes when you're playing in conditions like this and it's raining, you'll see a lot of the skill players offensively take off the gloves because they want to be able to feel the football. They think it gives them better control of it. And I don't know if that played into the football going on the ground there, but you know that ball security is going to be one of the biggest factors in this game moving forward.
And he takes this from inside the 5. Not a lot of space to be found. Good hustle by the coverage team, and they stop him at the 21. Motion from the wide receiver. Off the play fake on first down, wants to throw. Grabbed over the middle, it's Cuevas. And he'll get it up to the 38. It'll be a first down.
And that's why play action is going to be big in this game. You saw how it just frees the second level of that defense just for a second. It allowed the tight end to work himself vertically down the field. But how about this guy after the catch, right? So hard to bring down. What a weapon.
Back to throw, it's Simpson. Got out of trouble, got rid of it. With the catch, it's Bernard. They're working their way toward midfield. He's out of bounds at the 46.
Nice completion here to this wide receiver. And you're going to see this receiver line up in different spots all over the field all game long. Defense has got to keep their eye on where this guy is because they know he's a big part of this offensive success.
From the gun, running back on the move. Looks as if the Crimson Tide will have the first down. A cornerstone of the Alabama program really throughout history has been be physical, establish a running game.
Yeah, great running backs. I mean, not only are you recruiting great players in the offensive line and skill and all over the place, but so many great backs that you can name off the top of your head that played at Alabama, that ran it with an edge, that ran it physical, that always represented that.
And the ball comes out. What a disastrous play. They knock him down finally, but boy, he was trying to make something out of that, and he stopped short of the first down marker.
Good awareness by the offense. You never want to see the ball on the ground, but a nice job understanding to just kind of jump on it and make sure you keep possession.
This pass rush has just been relentless, and you can bet your bottom dollar they're about to bring the heat again. Off play action. Unloads it left. That, friends, is a busted play. Incomplete.
This offense really is putting themselves behind the 8 ball right now on this drive. Sack first down. They've just thrown an incompletion, so third in California. Defense knows you're probably going to throw it. What can you dial up here?
The Crimson Tide a long, long way from the line to gain here on third down. To the air, it's Simpson. Pocket breaking down. Pressure all over the quarterback, and down he goes at the 24.
How about this defense in this game so far? Already 5 sacks, and we're only in the second quarter. I think if you're the offensive coordinator, you have got to start mixing up these play calls, moving the pocket, get your quarterback away from danger because it's obvious. This offensive line, they cannot hold up, and they cannot get it done.
Alabama will bring the punt team on the field. This will be the second time they've had to kick it away. Well, what that punt lacked in height, it made up for by being short. And the returner could find no daylight. He goes down. Clemson ready to dial up some ball plays. They've got it on offense. Last drive went for 6. We'll see if they can do it again. There he goes.
I'll tell you, I love the play call on first down here. You're just trying to find an easy completion, and the shortest throw on the field for the quarterback is finding your biggest target, and that's the tight end. Nice job.
And the Tigers can play this second down a lot of ways with just a few yards to go. Snagged in the middle, it's Williams. That one takes it down to the 13-yard line.
It's really easy to say the word RPO and say I'm going to run them, but you got to make those decisions, and you got to make them fast. You can't get confused by all the craziness that's going on, by all the guys moving around or talking. Nice job by the quarterback, staying in the moment, seeing it, throwing the slant, making sure he makes the right decision.
To the air on first down. Quarterback needs to make a better throw there. Incomplete. operating in the red zone here on second down. Grab behind the line. It's Williams. They'll get it down to the 8-yard line on that throw and catch, and the defense is backed up against the wall.
My old coach said you'll never go broke taking a profit. Take what's there, take the positive yards, and never complain.
Really need to pick up this conversion and avoid having to settle for the field goal. Looking to throw, it's Klubnik. Under fire. That pass not Moses. He got drilled trying to deliver it, and it'll bring up fourth down.
This is a disappointing drive for the offense, considering where this drive started in their opponent territory. Now you're fourth and long. You've got to be better throwing the football in those types of situations.
And on fourth down, they'll try to put 3 on the board. This whole place going to see if this kicker can operate in the sea of noise. He slides that just inside the right upright. The lead now 6 here in the second.
And that's not the way they wanted to end the drive, but nice job being ready and your field goal kicker coming through and putting 3 points on the board.
After putting 3 on the board, the kickoff unit ready to go. Here he comes from inside his own 5. He was looking for some running room, but not much to be found as he stopped at the 18. Let's see if they can get something going here late in the half. Wants to throw on first down. Fires to the big fella.
Nice quick throw there. And it's so important for quarterbacks to be able to find a rhythm and to be comfortable and confident. You want to just get the ball out quickly, make it an accurate and easy throw. And you can tell that these two guys, they rep that play in practice all the time, and it's now showing up here on the field.
The Crimson Tide can dig into that playbook here on second and short. Back to pass. Got it in the middle. It's Williams. Chain gang on the move. It'll be a first down at the 29.
This slot receiver gives defensive coordinators nightmares. You have got to double him virtually on every pass play. He better have safety help over top. Otherwise, this guy's a threat to score every time they throw the ball.
Looking downfield, it's Simpson. Fires deep on the run. Oh, he dropped it. That deep ball was right on the money. You just have to make that catch.
Well, it's a great job by the back end of the defense that time, making up for what the front end of the defense couldn't do. The quarterback had all day to throw that ball, but it was the hit and coverage that forces the incompletion.
Plenty of work to do here on second and long. They'll move the wide receiver. Give to the running back. They'll give him a couple that leaves him with 3rd and 8.
And a lot of times you want those big plays. You want those splash plays. But sometimes you're going to take some losses. You're not going to run the football overly well. But if you continue to run it, you can at least create some balance. You at least have the threat of it. Otherwise, you're just going to abandon it, and now it's just going to be a passing game.
On 3rd down, he drops to throw. It's incomplete, but here comes the flag, and I think it's going to be a first down.
Pass interference. Defense.
And the defender just way too handsy on that last play. You could see all the contact as the ball was in the air. He simply can't do it, and the referee's caught it.
Wants to go up top on first down. Nowhere to go, and the ball is loose. A fortuitous turn of events to keep possession of that one. There's a timeout on the field. Tight game here late in the first half. This offensive line has just been unable to keep them away from the quarterback. Now it's 2nd and long. Not much running room there thanks to this senior defender.
And what's the closest guy to the football, man? It's those defensive tackles, and those guards and centers have to work together. They got to get those guys and get some movement. They don't on this play, and the big fella eats. Nowhere to go. When you run into him, you usually meet the ground.
On 3rd and long, hoping to throw beyond the sticks. He took a hit as he threw it and couldn't deliver the football. It's incomplete, and 4th down's coming.
Well, in a situation like that where it's 3rd and long, there's not a lot of plays to get that thing completed and keep the drive moving. So you're just trying to buy yourself some real estate and help your punter out.
Looks as if the Tide will punt it away. He'll try to really get into this one. Wouldn't call it a shank, but I don't think he'll include it on his greatest hits. And they'll down this just inside the 35-yard line. So let's see how they play it in this final 30 seconds of the first half. Wide receiver comes in motion. Back to throw, it's Klubnik. Quick strike complete. They'll get him at the 45, but he got 10 on that one. They'll immediately call timeout.
This receiver is such a weapon, and he has so much speed, and he can generate explosive plays for your offense, not just running go routes and post routes, but how about throwing him the drag, letting him catch it, and use his speed to turn it upfield.
The offense calls timeout. It's the second one they've used this half.
It's got to feel good as an offense knowing that early in the drive you can turn around, hand it off, get a push up front, go get positive yardage.
The Tigers with myriad options after that big pickup on first down. Going deep. Makes a catch at the 15. They finally get to him. But what a play there to pick up the first down.
Man, this offense is so dangerous, Reese. They've got dudes all over the field that can make plays. There's a big gainer in the pass game.
You get a chunk of yards like that, now the defense is really on its heels. Just a few seconds remaining here as they try to put something up before halftime. From the red zone, looking for a space. Finds his big tight end. They'll spot the ball at the 12 after that completion. The offense will quickly use a timeout. Waning seconds of the first half, and they'll try to tack on a 3 before they head to the locker room. And he missed it. No good. The lead is still 6 after the miss. That's going to wrap up the first half here, and now we join Kevin with the halftime update.
Gentlemen, what else is new? A spirited environment there in Tuscaloosa. And a lot of coaches will say limiting the big plays and maybe hitting on a few yourself is key. But I'm more of a move the chains guy. Give me efficiency every day of the week and twice on Saturday. The offensive unit that subscribes to the less is more philosophy might be the one that leaves here today with a big fat W. And with that, let's send it back to the guys in T-Town.
Ready to start the second half. Alabama will kick it off. He'll bring it back from inside his 5. Nice job executing all of the assignments as they put a stop to that return at the 22. They'll snap this one to start the drive from their own 22. Finds the tight end. And good coverage by the defense, just a short gain.
I think that time offensively, you're just trying to take what the defense is giving you, right? They're playing zone coverage. You got your big fella just working right over the ball. It's an easy pitch and catch. Just take the profit. Let's keep going.
They're dealing with a second and long. To the air, it's Klubnik. With the catch, it's Williams. They'll wrestle it down just short of the first down. I don't even think they're going to bring out the chains to measure this one.
I love offenses and quarterbacks that are willing to take the easy stuff. Take those easy throws that are guaranteed to get positive yards. Yeah, I'm going to take big shots down the field too. But don't forget, it's easier to pick up 2nd and 5, 3rd and 5 than it is when you start getting those long yardage situations.
And he just needed a few inches, and he didn't get it. The defense denies this offense. Clemson will send the punt team out. This will be the second time they've had to kick it away. I wouldn't quite call it a shank, but that's not exactly going to go on the resume reel. They'll put it in play from the 36 for the first play of the drive. They'll leave it with him. We'll give him a couple on that one. 2nd and 8 coming up.
Man, it's really hard to control the running game if you don't control the line of scrimmage. And how about the defensive line doing a great job attacking those guys up front, not open up lanes to run through. Nice job just nullifying that run altogether.
After picking up a couple at 2nd and 8. Not able to hook up there, incomplete.
In football, you hear the term quick, but don't hurry. And you can tell when you run these RPOs, the QBs want to make that decision quick. And I think he hurried it a little bit too much. Got the ball out quick, but obviously was inaccurate with his pass.
Alabama with a lot of ground to cover here on 3rd and long. From the gun, wants to pass. Catch in the middle, it's Miller. He's got enough to move the chains, and they'll spot it at the 47.
This running back is a weapon. Not only is he going to hurt you in the run game, but they're going to throw it to him, and they're going to throw it to him on 1st down, 2nd down, and 3rd down, as you saw right there.
Alabama with a 1st and 10 here. Catch in the middle, it's Bernard. And they pick up just a few on that completion.
This quarterback right now is in a groove, and he's doing a nice job in pre-snap. He's reading the coverage, and he's getting an idea of where he wants to go with the football. That's why the ball's coming out of his hands so quickly. That's why he seems like he's in a great rhythm right now.
Let's see what they've got on 2nd down. Back to pass, it's Simpson. Dumps it to the back. The short hands, it's Miller. He stopped at the 32, picks up 10 on the play and gets the 1st down.
Well, that's a real good-looking throw, and I know at Alabama recently they've had a lot of different quarterbacks, and they've also had a lot of different guys calling plays. But one thing that's never seemed to waver is how explosive the offense has been, and the big reason is because of the efficient play they've had consistently year in, year out at the quarterback position as well. They recruited extremely well. They coach these guys up, and this is a guy who loves football, loves the X's and O's, and you're seeing it translate onto the field right now.
I like the decision by the quarterback here. Just get the ball out of your hands, get it to your playmaker. A lot of times he'll dance and make even bigger plays than he did here, but it was still a positive game.
Alabama with a multitude of options on 2nd and short. Wants to go up top. Caught over the middle, it's Williams. They knock him down at the 21. It's a pickup of 5 yards on the play and enough for a 1st down. New set of downs after the completion. They'll run it out of the shotgun. And he never had a chance. Just stopped cold as soon as he got it.
And you're seeing on both sides, really hard to run the football in this one. You've got to give both of these defenses tons of credit. They are so physical up front. These defensive lines can take the game over, and right now, it's tough sledding on the ground.
Wants to fire on 2nd down. Unloads to the wideout. Makes a connection. They make the stop at the 5-yard line, and they've got it 1st and goal.
Really nice job by the quarterback understanding I needed to throw this ball hard. Like, I got to fit it in there tight. And a nice job by the wide receiver wearing it, because he really didn't have a choice, because he was going to wear that one regardless.
Alabama comes to the line with a 1st and goal. Big-time play by the defense. He'll lose 4.
At this part of the field in the red zone, offensively, you're bringing all these tight ends in the game. You'd like to be more physical at the point of attack. That's why you're bringing the big bodies in, but they couldn't get it done up front, and as a result, it's a negative play.
Defense rose up deep in its own end on that last play. Now a 2nd and long coming. Quarterback on the keeper. Stopped in the backfield. He's going to lose 3 yards on the play. And that is what the great Tiger defensive lines have done. They do not let you run the football.
Nope. Big, physical, play with their hands, get off blocks, get in the backfield, and just make life hard. Again, you want to create balance on offense, but when Clemson's defensive line is eating up your O-line, you become very one-dimensional.
Touchdown time! Made the grab in the end zone for the score.
How about that drive they just put together to tie this football game up? That is exactly what we talked about in the half. Like, coaches circled them up, First drive, set the tone, tie this ball game up. That is great execution out of halftime.
Yeah, David, it looked like they really had a good plan, too. Obviously made some adjustments there at halftime, things that they would come out and try to attack this defense with, and it looks like they found something here, and that is a perfect way to start the second half. Now an opportunity here to take the lead.
And the extra point puts them on top by 1. They put it in the end zone with a 12-play scoring drive. And the score comes on a 12-yard touchdown pass. They're set to kick it off. You think this crowd's going to get loud when their defense comes on the field? On the run from inside his own 5. Really disciplined job by the coverage unit to get down there and make the stop at the 19. This drive will start from the 19-yard line. They'll run the RPO and throw it right. And he goes out of bounds after coming up with positive yardage there.
Now, I know that completion isn't a touchdown. It's not a deep play deep down the field, but how about the strong hands by that receiver making that catch? He made that look pretty routine. He had that DB draped all over him and still was able to help this offense get positive yards.
Gonna run it. It's random. They've got it out to the 34 after getting 5 there.
I'll tell you, this running back, he's running behind an offensive line that is playing in unison right now, doing a great job communicating pre-snap. They're getting hats on hats in the run game.
Lining up from the 34 on first down. Back in motion, trying to clear the picture. To the air, it's Klubnik. Swings it out to his running back. And they're going to lose yardage there. The defense completely owning the front. Plenty of distance between them and the sticks here on second down. They'll run play action. And the defense makes a play. They get the quarterback down at the 26. And it is hardly a big surprise that this Alabama defense is hitting hard and making their presence felt in the backfield.
Yeah, it's what they built their brand on. They built it on physicality and stopping the run, and you've seen over the last several years, too. After they do that, they come after your quarterback, and they try to get that sucker on the ground.
Talk about spreading the ball around, everyone getting a chance to show off the hands based on the number of targets we've seen. Not only is the scoreboard on their side, but so too is time as we open the fourth. After swapping ends of the field, they gave them a little time to figure out how they'll open the final period here on third down. Oh, they're after him. And that's incomplete. A defender all over him. Knocked the ball to the ground. Fourth down coming up.
That's why it's so important for this defense to win first and second down. You set up third and longs like that. You can show your exotic looks. You can get the pass rush going. Everybody on the back end expecting throw. And that's how you force incompletions and force fourth downs.
They kick it away on fourth down. No return coming. He'll call for the fair catch. Guys, here comes that Alabama offense onto the field. And points have been hard to come by in this one. They'll try to put together a drive. Caught in the backfield, it's Bernard. And just a short, safe pass play. They pick up a few.
And a great job by the defense, seeing it right away, reacting to the screen, going and getting the football, and getting the fast playmaker on the ground.
Working well behind the sticks on second down. They'll run it from the gun. That is a big win for this defense as they were right there as soon as he got the ball.
How about the job by this defense today? They knew what they were getting into. A really good running back. We talked to him this week. It was the main focus point of this offense, stopping the run game, stopping the run game. Boy, have they showed up and showed out and answered that challenge.
Looking to throw at Simpson. Here comes the heat. Fired just a little too long as is the junior frustrated he missed that connection.
And that was good defense again, and unfortunately we've been saying that all game long. Really, really good defense. Or, listen, you can spin on the other side. This offense has really been bad.
The Crimson Tide will bring the punt team on the field. He's getting a lot of work. 4th time he's punted tonight. Fair catch is collected at the 24, and that's where they'll start this drive. They'll put this one in play. First snap of the drive from the 25. The give to the left side. Makes a stop in the backfield. He'll lose 4.
Yeah, and this offense has to find a way to run the football. They got to get more creative, or whatever that looks like for this offense, something to jumpstart them, because nothing really going on the ground.
Yeah, defensively, though, you got to give them credit, too, because they knew that physically they were going to try to be challenged up front. That was a big MO for this offense coming into it. But the defense, they've risen to the occasion. Their front 7 has dominated.
And the pressure was too much. They get him at the 15.
And you're seeing the pass rush on the second play of the drive. They dial it up. Look at the speed and athleticism this defense has as they corral the quarterback for a loss.
Now a lot of work to do to move the chains, keep this drive alive after that earlier sack. On 3rd and long, he'll need to loosen up that arm. And here's a fumble way behind the line. They recover their own fumble. How in the world did the offense avoid that disaster?
Deep breath, right, man? You fumble that thing, you cough it up, you're like, oh, I really appreciate you, brother. I can't tell you how much I thank you, because the coaches would have been all over me, but big-time break for the offense.
Clemson is lining up to punt this one away. Doesn't say much for your drive when you're looking forward to the punt. Here's the punt, and it is not a very good one. A short punt. The Tide offense rolls onto the field. And in a low-scoring game like this one, David, every possession is magnified.
And I think more than anything, it just gets frustrating. And you got to put that behind you. You got to see what this defense has been doing to be so successful. Palmer, now use it against them.
Yeah, David, I think for a play caller, this is tough, right? It's like you have to have the perfect play on just to get a first down. In these types of games, I think you're just trying to get guys out in space, see if a dude can break a tackle. Maybe that generates an explosive play, and it...
Caught in the backfield. It's Bernard. That one takes it down to the 13-yard line. It's 1st and 10 from the 13. Wide receiver going in motion. Grabs behind the line. It's Horton. They'll get it down to the 8-yard line on that throw and catch, and the defense is backed up against the wall. Going to work on 2nd down in the red zone, and still some ground to cover and pick up that first down. They'll go with a direct snap. He works his way ever closer all the way down to the 1-yard line.
Well, obviously the offense went 3 and out on their last drive. They're having a little bit more success here. That was a nice run, and I think that's the key, guys. If they're able to run the football, they're going to be able to stay on the field. And I think that's something you want to think more about if you're the play caller on offense.
Pushes toward the goal line. Into the end zone he goes. Touchdown, Bama! When you're handed a break with unbelievable field position like that, you better finish the deal, and they did.
You saw the quarterback jog on the field. I think he gave a high five to every one of those players coming off that just put them in position to go score that touchdown. That QB knew this was a golden opportunity, and boy, he took advantage of it.
Lining up to tack one more onto that lead. And And he did get that extra point through the slippery surface, no problem. A very efficient 5-play scoring drive. And they capped it off with a 1-yard plunge. Kickoff unit on the field, and this defense will be called on to protect this lead. Looking for an alley from inside his own 10. And the returner will be brought down. A little bit backed up to start this drive from their own 18-yard line. Leaves it with the back. Just gets it to the 28, pickup of 1.
And that run really didn't go anywhere. And a lot of times we don't focus on it enough, but how important those 5 guys are up front. To get on those defensive linemen, to try to move them out of the way, to get a run game going, it squarely falls on the shoulder of those 5 offensive linemen.
Didn't get much on first down. It's 2nd and 9. To the air, it's Klubnik. They're setting up the screen. Didn't have much room to run and not a whole lot of help. Short game there and still plenty of ground to cover for the first down.
And I don't like the play call, guys. Screen pass at this point of the game against the defense playing big zones, prevent, trying to keep the ball in front. It's just not going to work. You've got to take shots offensively.
A veritable crimson tide of noise on Saban Field here on 3rd down. From the gun, wants to pass. Finds his tight end. They make the stop about 4 yards short of the first down.
And this offense just hasn't found a way to kind of open it up. Like, they haven't found those explosive plays. It feels like the defense is kind of strangling them and staying really close to the line of scrimmage because of their lack of their big play ability over the top. This offense has to dial something up.
Can't find his man. It'll be incomplete, and that is a heartbreaker this late in the game. Motion from the wideout. They want that clock to run. And the defense holds firm. No pickup at all on that play. Defense uses a timeout quickly, trying to get that ball back and preserve time for their offense. Didn't get much done on that first play of the drive. It's 2nd and 11. Got it in the middle. It's Cuevas. Not much running room there thanks to this senior defender. Crimson Tide looking for a big play to convert on 3rd down. From the gun, wants to pass. He took a hit as he threw it and couldn't deliver the football. It's incomplete and 4th down's coming.
QBs and receivers on 3rd down, everything has to happen just a split second sooner. You're expecting pressure, the quarterback gets hit, just not on the same page with his target.
And now on 4th down, they will put it on the shoulders of the kicker to save them with his foot. And this one splits the uprights. And that will extend their lead even further.
You know, it's funny, in an age when there's so many college football analytics and everybody wants to go for it on 4th down, at the end of the day, it still comes down to managing the ball. Good decision by the head coach here in the 4th quarter. By kicking that field goal, you've now made it a 2-possession game. Your chances of winning this thing have now gone way up.
Here's the return from inside his 10. Not a lot of space to be found. Good hustle by the coverage team, and they stop him at the 21. They come to the line for the first play of the drive, snapping it from the 21. Sends it back in motion. Looking to throw, it's Klubnik. He finds a dead spot in the middle. They bring him down, but the big play will move the sticks. And he was able to break one tackle, Jesse, and almost got away from another.
Man, this secondary, this defense, they better pack a lunch. When this guy has the football, you've got to get bodies to him, and you better wrap up those legs and hold on tight. This dude's hard to tackle.
Perfect play call for that big gain to open the drive. Now here they come on 1st and 10. Caught behind the line. It's Randall. Good pickup, a little bit short of the sticks.
I think in this situation, 2 minutes, trailing late, I think you got to be throwing to the sticks every time. I don't know if these short completions are going to get it done. You're just not going to have enough time to get down the field. So from a play calling standpoint, I think you want to think about being a little bit more aggressive.
Bringing the heat. Quarterback feeling that pressure, and he's knocked down at 42. The offense gets a quick timeout at this point. Every second is precious. Now a lot of work to do to move the chains, keep this drive alive after that earlier sack. On 3rd and long, he's going to have to throw for it. Now they're starting to feel it. They've got a first down at the 44. 3rd down, a lot of times it comes down to not necessarily who's the most open, who do you trust the most?
No, it's not about the X's and the O's. It's about the Jimmies and the Joes. And when my guy's better than you and I get you matched up out wide and I know I trust you, I'm finding you.
Looking to throw on 1st down. Quick completion on the out route. He'll go out of bounds. They'll mark him down at the 31 and a big pickup on that one.
Well, this offense has a ton of work left ahead of them here in this 2-minute situation late in the game, but the drive off to a good start. You get the first down, you get out of bounds, you work in the perimeter of the field. That is exactly what you want to do.
Dropping back, it's Klubnik. Quickly complete. They immediately call timeout, trying to preserve every second they can to try to rally here late. The Tigers can really attack on this 2nd and short. Motion from the wide receiver. Back to pass on 2nd down. Pass rush coming after the quarterback, and they get him at the 32.
That's a play the defense needed, right? It's been a battle all game long. Here we are, it's late, everybody's tired. They've given up a few yards on this drive, but they come away with a huge sack at a big moment.
The defense all revved up after that earlier sack, and they'll try to stop him right here. On 3rd and long, try to convert through the air. And he got a hand on it to knock it down in the end zone.
And I love the personnel group that the defense is in right now. With the lead late in a 2-minute situation, you're seeing extra DBs on the field. You know the offense is going to try and throw the football. So faster guys, good job that time getting to the ball, knocking it away, forcing the incompletion. You stay in this personnel grouping if you're on defense.
On 4th down, looking for the completion. And that pass is incomplete. They were going for the consolation touchdown, but to no avail, and that's going to do it for this one. Guys, if you want to go strictly by the rankings, I guess this was an upset, but to my eyes, we saw 2 really good teams slug it out, and one of them came out on top.
Yeah, 2 really good teams, man. That's a reason why they're both ranked. They're both really good, and I tell you what, getting this win proves something to everyone else now. Like, I was ranked below this squad. You beat a team that's ranked above you. Now you start to climb up the charts, build some momentum. This squad's about to get some more respect, Palmer.
I think good teams find ways to win games, especially in a game like this. 2 ranked opponents, evenly matched. Who's going to be able to make the plays when it matters the most? You got to give this team credit. This is a big win. It's impressive, and now they get to move up the rankings.
That's going to do it from here. For David Pollack and Jesse Palmer, I'm Reese Davis, and you've been watching another presentation of EA Sports College Football.